This is CBC Here and Now.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Carolyn Stokes.
And I'm Anthony Germain. Here's what's making news tonight.
Made snow and then it rained. Severe rain took it away. Made snow, severe rain took it away.
White Hills in the red. Clarenville steps in to help the ski resort get through the season. Here Now's Garrett Barry tells us why the town isn't too worried yet. But we start tonight with the province's shrinking population. Just what is driving this decline? Carolyn?
Yes, there's more evidence that this province's demographic challenges are only getting worse, and that evidence can be found in the maternity wards, in the funeral homes, at our airports and ferry terminals. It's both a baby bust and a brain drain. Here Now's Terry Roberts has been digging into this issue and joins us now. So Terry, this is all about numbers. Can you walk us through what's happening?
Well, sure. Well, just take a look at this. The numbers tell the tale. From government last year show we had just about over 4,000 births in this province last year. Now that's the lowest number we've seen since we started recording this just before Confederation. In fact, we've been setting new record lows now for the past few years.
So how do these new record lows compare to past generations? And this looks like a past generation here, familiar looking
Well,
guy.
these were the good old days. This is 1970. This is when I was born. This is a picture of me here and my mother, Leonce. I was the 9th of 9 children. And in that year, in 1970, there were 13,307 births. Now, since then, births have dropped off and deaths have increased. We actually had 900 more deaths last year than we had births. And that gap has been widening for a long time. But births and deaths are only part of it. Out-migration, it's a thing again. So people are leaving the province to live elsewhere. Now, as you see, these are estimates from Statistics Canada. We had a net loss last year of 3,000 people to just these 3 provinces. That's in 2017-18, and many of them are young, are educated, our future leaders. Now, 4 years ago, we were actually drawing people from these 3 provinces. So more deaths than births and a growing exodus of our best and brightest. It's not a pretty picture.
It's time for playgroup at Bishop Abraham Elementary in St. John's. The next generation, learning and socializing. Young mom Lisa Young is here. She's atypical. 3 children between the ages of 1 and 9. But most of her friends don't have children.
Some people find it hard and struggle when they have more than 1 children because everything is really expensive.
And here's Kathy Walsh. From a family of 6 children. She had 3 of her own, but just 1 grandchild.
It's not surprising. Children are getting, maybe higher educated. They spend more time doing things before they settle down. Get partners.
What we have to do is learn how to adapt in this new reality.
The Harris Center has been studying our demographics, and they sure have changed. By the end of the baby boom in the 1960s, births in this province were around 16,000 each year. But today's reality is a shrinking and aging population, driven by interprovincial migration, double-digit unemployment, and women are having fewer or no children.
I think it will be a serious situation.
The trend shows a stable or increasing population on the Northeast Avalon Peninsula and in most parts of Labrador, but declines everywhere else.
The horse is out of the barn, so much more important is adaptation.
There are roughly 528,000 people in our province, but one government scenario projects that number could plunge by 2036. And every scenario shows a dramatic increase in the median age, already the highest in Canada.
The trend.
But Greenwood says that's not a reason to give up hope. Smart leadership, quality education and outcomes, an innovative and productive economy. Add family-friendly policies to the mix, and there's hope.
I'm not pessimistic about Newfoundland and Labrador's future at all, but it is a generational, pardon the pun, shift in thinking.
It took a lot of mental anguish to leave.
But that future may not include people like Emily Bonia, just 25, master's degree, working here in Ottawa.
I miss the community that I was involved in. I miss walking down the road and people smiling and saying, "Hey, what are you at by?"
Weighed down with student debt, Bonia says she had no choice but to leave.
I applied all over the province for jobs. I really looked hard, but the jobs just aren't there. It's really sad.
So that means home is not Newfoundland anymore.
Okay, so Terry, so that was a reality check. Are there any positives with these numbers?
Yeah, I guess the one positive we can look at is immigration. We had a record number of new permanent residents last year, as you can see, more than 1,300. And our unemployment rate has dropped a little with some major projects either underway or on the horizon. But like Rob Greenwood says, our best bet is to prepare for a future with fewer people.
Thank you so much, Terry Roberts, for walking us through this.
You're welcome.
In other news, the town of Clarenville has opened up its wallet to reinforce the White Hills Ski Resort. The town council has forwarded more than $100,000 in new funding to help keep the resort afloat after a troubling year. Here Now's Garrett Barry has that story.
The dispersing of the snow. Wow.
Another frustrating day at White Hills.
It's beyond belief that you can go through the days that we have with cold temperatures, all the snow that has been accumulated, and then we get this.
The busy opening weekend, nowhere to be found. It's shades of 2018, when constant rains almost forced White Hills to pull the plug on the entire season.
We made snow and then it rained. Severe rain took it away. Made snow, severe rain took it away. So that was eating up money and cost, of course. And we were open for a couple weekends in January, and then basically a rainstorm shut us down until around the 8th and 9th of February.
Snowmaking costs piled up and revenues tumbled. And for the first time in 18 years, the ski hill couldn't make any of its loan payments to Clarenville's town council. This list provided by the town's finance chair shows how much skin the town of Clarenville has in the game. White Hills owes the town almost $200,000, and it got another $130,000 over the past year and a half to pay for the lifts, the maintenance costs, and the leftover bills.
There's no record of it.
No one's sounding the alarm yet.
So we're not really concerned about it. We think that over the next 10 years, we'll have enough money to gradually pay the town back, hopefully even beyond before that.
If we look over the term, as opposed to 1 year, we say, you know, it has been a superbly successful product, not only financially, but in terms of physical health, mental health, and all of the other benefits that arrive to the community and the province.
It's not just the town's politicians and councils that are hoping for a rebound. If you're a business owner here on Clarenville's Manitoba Drive, you see a lot of benefit to a full ski hill.
Oh, very, very important, especially in the winter. I mean, everything slows down, tourism, say contractors, everything. So we really, really love when they come, and it's great. Yeah.
So it's not just the snowmakers who are looking for better weather. Garrett Barry, CBC News, Clarenville.
Well, looking ahead a little bit as far as weather goes, we've got a couple of blowing snow advisories in place for parts of the province. Some snow on the way tonight. Tomorrow looks quiet. We could see some sun in the forecast into the afternoon tomorrow, and then the next significant weather maker moves in for Thursday. More mild temperatures, more rain on the way, and it looks windy as well. I'll have some of the details on what we saw this last storm, some of those numbers, and your full forecast when I come back. Anthony?
Thanks, Ashley. With a provincial election looming, another tentative agreement has been reached with the province, and this time it's the Newfoundland and Labrador Teachers Association that is going to be voting on a contract. Here now's Meg Roberts is live in our newsroom with the details on this. So Meg, what can you tell us?
Well, both the union and the province say that they're happy that they've reached a tentative agreement, something to show the members. The members haven't had a contract since 2016 and have been operating under the previous one. Now, that deal is not ratified yet. Members will vote on that February 26th. There's currently about 6,000 members that are part of the Teachers Association. Now, today, the union and the government were very tight-lipped about what was in the agreement. They also would not tell me what kind of things teachers were looking for going into negotiations. Here's what both sides of the bargaining table had to say.
Our members are looking for an agreement that respects their dignity and professionalism, and we are bringing forward a package that we think will actually be worthy of consideration. Our members will make the decision on that.
How confident are you that they will react positively to this?
Well, I think it'd be improper for me to make any statement that one way or the other. I think the first step is our branch presidents need to actually see the package first. And based on those meetings, that will be the decision going forward.
I think that any time you have a set of negotiations, both sides need to feel that they've had a contribution to the negotiations. Both sides need to feel that they've had a benefit coming from the negotiations. And, you know, I'll leave it at that. I mean, until the 6,000 members have an opportunity to see the details.
The new contract will expire next year. That's because the contract is only good for 4 years from the previous agreement's end date. Now, as I mentioned before, members will be voting on that February 26th. The government says that they've been working hard at negotiations across local unions. Those include NAPE, CUPE, and the Association of Allied Health Professionals. Reporting live in St. John's, I'm Meg Roberts for Here and Now.
There's a food recall to tell you about now. HelloFresh Canada is recalling an ingredient found in some of its meal kits. The company owns 2 brands called HelloFresh and Chef's Plate. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says there's a risk of salmonella contamination in the chili ingredients. The recalled meal kits are on your screen right there. It's the HelloFresh Coconut Dal Meal Kit and the Chef's Plate Beef Chow Mein. You'll want to check the best before dates, and those details are on our website at cbc.ca/NL. The Food Inspection Agency is investigating the contaminated chilies, which may lead to other recalls.
The Royal Newfoundland Constabulary is upping its patrols on the Avalon in an effort to crack down on crime. This after a string of break-ins using heavy equipment. Each time, thieves used an industrial piece of machinery to smash through the wall of a building to try to get to an ATM. Officers are patrolling areas where heavy equipment is stored in an attempt to prevent further robberies from happening. Now, 2 men, 40-year-old Jamie Kennedy and 41-year-old Corey Quilty, were arrested after the 4th and most recent robbery early on Saturday morning. Police are still investigating whether there's a connection to last week's robberies.
The 5-day trial of RNC Constable Joe Smythe has wrapped up. The Crown and defense lawyers gave their final summations this afternoon, and a psychologist suggested Smythe never should have been on traffic duty in the first place. Here Now's Mark Quinn reports.
The Crown says the central question is this: did Smythe make an honest mistake, or did he obstruct justice by deliberately issuing a false ticket? Today, lawyer Lloyd Strickland argued that Smythe didn't make an honest mistake, but was out to punish a motorcycle driver who police believed was repeatedly driving dangerously. Strickland argued that Smythe is lying, that the officer had a green light just like the motorcycle did. He says it's extremely implausible that Smythe would mistake a green light for a red one. And that, combined with the mistake Smythe made about illegal passing, further suggests that Smythe was out to punish motorcycle driver Syed Husseini. For his part, Smythe's lawyer Jerome Kennedy called Strickland's argument shameful. He said Husseini's motorcycle matched the description of an orange bike driven dangerously that police were looking for. Kennedy said, quote, "There's no doubt that this man is the orange menace that police were looking for." And Kennedy said Smythe was only charged because of his history. In 2015, Smythe fatally shot Don Dunphy. A judge later found that Smythe used appropriate force in self-defense. Kennedy says the judge in this case must acquit Smythe because there's no evidence that Smythe intended to obstruct justice. Earlier in the day, a psychologist who treated Smythe testified that the officer never should have been allowed back on street patrol. She said Smythe was still traumatized by the Dunphy shooting and was then re-traumatized by the inquiry, which wrapped up just months earlier. Judge Mike Madden is scheduled to give his decision next month. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, a lot of hopeful people got up bright and early this morning for a second chance to score tickets to Come From Away in concert. The hit musical is playing 8 shows at Holy Heart Theatre in St. John's. That starts tomorrow. Now, when the tickets originally went on sale, they sold out in a flash. Here now, Zach Gowdy braved the lineups this morning to see who showed up.
Well, I figured we were going to have to get here pretty early. I figured by 6 a.m., which is when I came down, there would probably be hundreds of people here. But I was number 7 in line, so quite a surprise this morning when we came down.
Did you guys try to get tickets the first time around?
Yes.
How did that go?
My husband came down to get tickets and he saw the lineup and it was so long he went back home. So that was the end of the tickets.
So how did you feel this morning when you got to be near the front of the line?
I was excited, very excited, to think that I would get tickets.
I actually went last spring to see it in New York with my mom, and we absolutely adored the show. So, you know, any opportunity to see it again would be amazing.
So it's really worth seeing twice.
Oh my God, or, you know, more than twice. You know, as many times as you can go.
On the northeast tip of North America, on an island called Newfoundland, there's an airport. And next to it is a town called Gander.
It's super fun. You're laughing and crying the entire time you're in the show. But I mean, I think has to be one of the best musicals that come out in recent years because it tells a story that we can all connect to. It's both fun and so meaningful for, I think, us as humans and connecting in this increasingly global world.
Ma'am, you're near the back of the line. How do you feel about your chances this morning?
Very slim.
Yeah?
Yes.
Well, it's worth it to sink a couple more hours in this time for a chance to buy some.
Hey, my boss was kind enough to let me come here. I'm good.
Five seats.
Just what you want.
Just what we wanted.
How does it feel?
Wonderful, just wonderful, very exciting.
Worth the wait?
It was definitely worth the wait, especially after the disappointment the last time. So,
well, congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Some happy people.
Yeah, hot ticket for sure.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, the big story over the last week has been all of those break-ins on the Avalon using backhoes, excavators, and front-end loaders.
Well, apparently this has spread across the pond in Britain. A similar story, only this time rather than a robbery, it seems the driver of a heavy rig was in it for revenge.
Now, footage from The Sun shows a rogue builder smashing up the front of this Liverpool hotel on the same day construction was completed.
Yeah, and you can tell from the beeps he had some language. The driver drove up the steps, crashed the lobby, as you see there, all over claims that he was owed £600 in unpaid wages. Now, after 30 minutes of this, he parked the machine and just walked away.
A spokesperson for Travelodge declined comment, saying the police are investigating.
And what's amazing, you look at the damage that's a smaller machine than what we saw in CBS and here, and yet look at all the damage a small heavy machinery can do compared to some of the big ones used here.
Gee.
I mean, that's a lot of destruction.
It really is.
It is not an ice-breaking vessel. It's a vessel that has an Ice Class 1A hull.
How will the new ferry hold up in Newfoundland and Labrador ice?
The Apollo's replacement is sailing to the Strait of Belle Isle soon, but first we'll get a tour. That's coming up.
This weather forecast is brought to you by Newfoundland and Labrador Tourism. 5,000 kilometers of groomed trails are waiting to be explored. Embrace winter today.
Ashley, you have lots of rain and snow to talk about, but before we get to the weather, we have a video from Curling Canada that we want to share.
Yeah, in case you have certain stereotypical beliefs about curlers and how energetic or fit they really are. Well, if that footloose and fancy-free team looks familiar, on the right there, now in the middle, now she's back on the right, now she's right in front. That's Camille Burt. I spoke with her and her mom, Wendy Dunn, a couple weeks back. They played on competing teams during the Scotties. This is part of their warm-up, so that when they hit the ice, they're not too cold, as you can imagine.
Yeah, it's good. We should.
Yep, coordinated too.
Oh, camera's over here.
Oh, there we go.
We should do one of those warm-up dances before we go on air. All right, there we go. So lots of weather over the past 24 hours.
We have the storm that just moved through, started Sunday and then through the day yesterday. Take a look at some of these storm totals and talk about extremes. Temperatures in the afternoon for Bay Roberts reached 12.8 degrees Celsius. Happy Valley Goose Bay since Sunday has recorded 60+ centimeters of snow. And then Humber Village, which is between Pasadena and Corner Brook, saw 58 millimeters of rain with this system, and then the winds, Wreck House took the cake at 149 kilometers per hour. So quite a significant storm, and it does look like we're in for another one as we head towards at least Thursday into Friday. So temperatures are going to climb right back up again. But for now, very different story today. Temperatures have significantly dropped down well below zero, -7 in Corner Brook. And then as we head towards the Avalon, those temperatures a little bit warmer, -1 right now in St. John's. And then up through Labrador as well. Cartwright sitting at -3 right now. The coldest is through Labrador City at -21 right now. So taking a look at the current satellite and radar, we can see just a little bit of snow activity happening on the west coast and through parts of the interior. And that will continue as we head through the overnight tonight. If we take a look at the future tracker, we can see some snow moving through from Labrador down through the northern peninsula into the overnight tonight, and then that risk of flurries essentially across the entire island at some point through the early morning hours. And then for the Avalon as well, we'll see things, flurries by morning, and then everything will eventually taper off. And it looks like not a bad day tomorrow, except for Lab City, hanging on to some of that cloud cover and that potential for flurries. And we could see that potential for flurries along the west coast as well into the evening, or at least early afternoon and evening hours. And then the next system starts to make its way in overnight Wednesday and continue through the day on Thursday. So Environment Canada does have blowing snow advisories in place from Cartwright down through to Gros Morne, including Green Bay, White Bay, and the Bay of Exploits. And that will continue at least through the first half of tomorrow morning. And here's a look at what we're thinking, or what I'm thinking rather, forecast snow totals. Generally looking at a trace to 2 centimeters across the board along the west coast, and then up through Labrador as well, coastal Labrador, about 2 to 4 centimeters of snow. We could see some pockets of 2 to 4 centimeters as well for the Burin Peninsula, parts of the Conegra Peninsula as well, and then 5 to 10 centimeters by the time tomorrow rolls around, including what's already fallen for parts of the interior. So that's why we're seeing those blowing snow advisories up through the north. So tonight, temperature around -10 for St. Anthony, generally sitting around -7 for Corner Brook. Port aux Basques going to actually see that temperature climb by morning to about -4. Otherwise, we're sitting in the mid- single digits. The winds will be strong along the northeast coast and then along the west coast as well tonight, with gusts between 60 to even 80 kilometers per hour. So that's why we're seeing that blowing snow. Otherwise, flurries the story for Labrador. Nain going down to -24 tonight, with that wind chill feeling closer to -36. And then tomorrow, mix of sun and cloud. Some lingering flurries possible. Those winds will stay strong for the Avalon Peninsula as well, and then up through Labrador. Not too bad, just that chance of flurries for Lab City. So let's look at your forecast. I'll look at your extended forecast when I come back.
Thanks, Ashley. We'll move over Apollo. The MV Kayak W is getting ready to take over the run. The 7-year-old Norwegian ferry is expected to start crossing the Strait of Belle Isle sometime next week.
You know, it's a smaller ship than the Apollo, but the government says it's a better option. The province subsidizes about 80% of the island to Labrador link, and our cameras were there for today's tour.
It's really going to be an enjoyable crossing. You know, we've seen now some of the views from the decks and some of the windows and the open air decks. You know, I know that's not going to be great in January and February, but you know, in tourism season and in the summer season, it's going to be very much more of a comfortable experience for the passenger.
One of the biggest considerations of this vessel will never have to turn around. The Apollo, when it came to landing in Blanc-Sablon, always had to turn around, and therefore, by having to turn around in a very small harbor, it was often difficult to do that with the ice conditions in the harbor. This vessel, because it's a double-ender, will always go directly in.
Lots of times when you see those extended cancellations of the Apollo or of the service, you know, it's ice conditions, and you know, these vessels are not icebreakers.
We've had a performance analysis done by Acres, who are the predominant people in when it comes to Arctic shipping and icebreaking technology. I'll tell you that this is not an icebreaker, but they have come back with a report that says this vessel is significantly better than the Apollo when it comes to the hull. Now, I'm going to tell you that this vessel is not going to be out there breaking up all kinds of ice. We're going to rely on the Coast Guard to do what they're being paid to do by the taxpayers of Canada, which is to provide ice-breaking services. This vessel was designed to operate in a foot of fast ice, and it was operating in Estonia to the tourist islands of Saaremaa, and it performed for 5 years in ice. So, you know, we're very confident in the design.
The people, I think, of the Straits, you know, are long deserving of this vessel, and I'm confident that they're going to like what they see.
Well, with the province's population decreasing, why would people stay here?
We put that question to 3 people who have decided to stay. That's next. Well, earlier, Terry Roberts laid out a bleak demographic picture for our province. More people are dying than being born, young people fleeing in droves. Now, despite those dismal demographics, there are certain people who want to stay, and we invited 3 of them to actually talk to us. Vicki Morgan returned home and got some attention when she wrote an item for our website saying that she'd rather starve here than live anywhere else. Now, Jerry Joy, you'll probably recall, he was also featured on Here and Now when he opened his Indian food truck business. He's an entrepreneur who wants to try to make a go of it in the East End of St. John's. And Dwayne Tuck, well, he works in IT. He hates all the negativity in the news, and now he's actually on Here and Now. He's not sure why he moved back to Newfoundland or whether that was the right decision. Now, as we recorded the interview, at one point, Dwayne asked Jerry a key question for new Canadians. Here is the talk.
What would it really take to convince you to stay here?
Okay. I know of many professional couples who want to move to Newfoundland and start a family here. But from my personal experience, the biggest struggle is to find an affordable childcare. That is a real problem.
It's very expensive.
Yeah. And you know, when you have 2 kids, you are just giving the most of your earnings for the childcare, and it's like, why do I even go to work?
Right. That's what my wife and I went through when we were having our children here.
Yeah.
It's very expensive, and you often wonder, okay, one of us is going to work solely to pay for childcare.
Exactly.
It's difficult.
So it's almost just as well for that one person to stay home.
Exactly.
If the money just
But then you're talking about one salary household. And this isn't the 50s anymore, where daddy goes off to work and mommy stays home to raise the kids. You need 2 salaries, realistically, to have a comfortable standard of living here.
And Vicki mentioned there's also problems with health care, right? For
you can't find a pediatrician. Like, there's no way to get an appointment just for a family doctor. So you don't want to go sit in the Janeway for 3 hours. You know, when they have a sniffle. Well, that you go. You're not going for a sniffle.
How ironic is it, though, that here we are talking about one of the problems is we don't have enough births, and you have all identified at least 2 areas, childcare and healthcare, where there's not support for kids.
Exactly.
That's huge because if one person decides to stay home, that means that person is sacrificing his or her career. Is gone. And government should do something, or the province should do something to subsidize the childcare and all these things, so it makes it very attractive for the couples to have more children.
I know, subsidize is kind of one of those trigger words that gets people all upset. Like, that's coming out of my pocket. Like, here, like, let's do a little bit of math. If you've got 2 people earning money and they have, you get a little subsidy for the daycare, that's 2 really good incomes going back into the economy. So, like, do the math. Think beyond the 3 pennies that come out of your paycheck for social programs. Jobs.
When we were looking for childcare for our kids when they were toddlers, it was difficult to find a place.
Wait lists.
Yeah, there was a wait list. And if you're talking toddlers, like under 2, it's even worse, and it's more expensive. It's
and in places where they have subsidies, it works.
But no one wants to hear the word subsidy. Nobody wants to hear their tax dollars paying for someone else's children, especially if they don't have children. Or God forbid we do something to help immigrants. Oh no,
those are words, like the language of it is, well, do we call it something different? Like, maybe it's a growth initiative, or maybe we change the word so that some of the, I love this word snowflakes, but that word is like, it triggers so many emotions to go along with it. Like, just look beyond that for a second. Get past your anger and realize, like, we're helping everybody when we help each other.
It's a community.
If I were to put each of you in charge individually as the minister responsible for fixing population issues, what's the #1 thing you would address? We talked about childcare and healthcare. What would you try to do, Dwayne?
First of all, I would never run for office. Thank you very much, but no, not for me. I don't think there is an easy solution to this.
Definitely not.
It's going to take dollars, which the province does not have right now. We can pay hundreds of thousands for studies, to study this and to study that, but I honestly don't know.
Okay, that's a very honest answer. Jerry?
I know a lot of students who graduated from MUN, right? They love Newfoundland. I personally know a lot of them from India. So they did their master's here, PhD here.
And where are they?
they're
not here.
No, they're not here.
Right.
They call me and tell me that they miss Newfoundland every day. So they want to stay here. So hopefully in the near future we'll find opportunities for
jobs.
Them.
Good jobs is the number one thing that immigrants say, why aren't you staying in this part of Canada? That's usually it. Vicky, last word to you.
I think there's as a mom, when things are going crazy at my house, you can focus on the negative stuff, or you can say, what's going to distract and make everybody in this house happier right now?
Yeah.
And I think I'd focus on a whole lot more arts funding. Look at the arts and the culture of Newfoundland, the music, the art. Focus on the people who are here. Highlight the people who are here doing great things.
Dwayne has pulled something out of his pocket.
Yes, I wanted to
why.
bring this up. I am a strong proponent of immigration.
Right.
And this, if you can see, this is my father-in-law who recently passed away, Kwai Fang Chan. He immigrated from China in the mid-60s when he was in his mid-20s. He was an engineer in China.
Mm-hmm.
He worked here his entire life as a draftsperson. So I'm glad he's here because I married his beautiful daughter and we have 2 kids. So let's bring more of those
we all
people
come
here.
from somewhere, don't we?
Yes.
Listen, I know it's been fascinating. It's a complicated issue, and I really appreciate you guys coming in. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having us.
And still with this conversation, one of the voices you heard earlier in Terry Roberts' piece was Emily Bonia. She's a 25-year-old with a master's degree from Memorial. But now Bonia is living in Gatineau, Quebec, and working for the government. She says she often looks online for job postings back home, but isn't holding her breath.
Things like the levy, for instance, that really drove a lot of people out. And if it wasn't the levy that drove people out, it was the lack of income. So here I make a pretty decent salary. Back home, to make the salary that I make here, it would take me years of working in the government. Whereas I wasn't even out of university when I was offered this job, and it's a mid-level job. And I would never get this type of opportunity in Newfoundland because there's not that many jobs in my field. What you really miss when you move isn't necessarily like the idea of missing your family and your friends. That's all the time. You always miss them. But it's more the big life events. One of my best friends had a baby, and that baby was born when I was gone, and the baby was in the NICU. So I missed all of that. I missed my dad driving a nail through his thumb. I missed, important medical things that would happen to my family. In Newfoundland, I look at the job ads all the time. Of course, I'd love to be home. I'm an only child, so being home for my parents is important for me, though they would never ask me to come home. That's how I feel. But the jobs just aren't there. It's really sad. I mean, for anyone who is listening and thinks or watching and sees and says, well, there's jobs, there's McDonald's, there's Subway, there's all of these things. And those jobs are incredibly respectful, hard jobs to work. But my concern is that I just invested $60,000 into my education to work somewhere else. I have a master's of political science. I have a bachelor of arts in political science. I studied war. I really would like to work in a field that is at least similar to what I studied. So it's tough because the jobs that I would like are not there. So I guess the answer right now is no, I wouldn't come home, but I would like to.
After yesterday's announcement, the remains of 2 Beothuk people held in Scotland will be returned to Canada.
So we dipped into the archives to take a closer look at the history of the Beothuk.
Welcome back. There's been a lot of anticipation over the release of Canada's new food guide. Now we finally know what it says. The Minister of Health unveiled the new recommendations today.
It aims to change the way Canadians see food, and it begins with a simple idea that eating should be a pleasure. Canada's food guide reflects an important concept. Healthy eating is more than just the food that you eat.
The guide no longer divides food into 4 groups. Instead, it suggests what to eat regularly, what to avoid, and stresses the importance of home-cooked meals. It encourages more plant-based proteins, an increase in fruits and vegetables, and making water our drink of choice. This is the first update to the guide since 2007.
A Halifax mother says she's still not sure how she managed to escape a sinking car with her daughter. Ashley Holland's car hit black ice, skidded off the road on Sunday, and it landed in an icy pond.
We're driving, and then all of a sudden, I think we hit black ice. I don't know if it was just slush or black ice. And we just started fishtailing, and then the car just completely spun, and it just started rolling down that little hill there. And we landed on the roof in the water.
Frigid water, check that out, started to pour in, but Holland acted quickly. She managed to free herself and unstrapped her 4-year-old daughter from her car seat, and then they managed to swim to a nearby embankment. Firefighters who were on their way to another call spotted them, and they stopped to help. Both mother and daughter were hypothermic, and they were both in shock, but they have since recovered.
Scary.
Very scary.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, some big news yesterday, an announcement by the National Museum of Scotland to return the remains of 2 Beothuk people to Canada.
The remains of Beothuk chief Nonasabasut and his wife Damasduit have been in Scotland for nearly a century. That's after an explorer sent them there to be studied. Well, those remains will now be repatriated to Ottawa, and what happens next is still unknown.
Yeah, the discussion about those remains has us talking about Beothuk history, so we thought we'd share this piece from our archives.
And it's from now retired CBC reporter Atso Razori back in 1988, where he took a look at the history of the Beothuk and some of the speculation about their interaction with European settlers.
This is part of the Beothuk display at the Newfoundland Museum in St. John's. Curator Callum Thompson is busy replacing some artifacts that have been sent for exhibit at the Calgary Winter Olympics. The display illustrates how little the Beothuks have left behind. Arrow and spearheads, pendants, some leather and birch bark objects. But more than anything else, a lot of speculation on how an entire people got wiped out.
The Beothuk don't seem to have been in the frame of mind where they wanted to interact peacefully, interact at all with the Europeans.
Historians now speculate that closer contact with white settlers could have made a difference. But the Beothuks preferred their own way of life, recaptured in these paintings at the museum. As Europeans and Micmacs from Nova Scotia took over the coasts, they withdrew into the interior. There were no trade links with the Europeans, no missionary ties, no military alliances. The Beothuks even spurned firearms, sticking to spear, bow and arrow, right to the end. Canadian writer Pierre Burton included a chapter on the Beothuks in his book My Country, The Remarkable Past. In it, he draws the picture of lawless settlers hunting Beothuks for pure sport.
The white men living around along that coast, as I remember the documentation that I got, were pretty rough guys. They were themselves outside the law. They were wanted men, most of them, and I don't think they had any particular moral interest in anybody, including the Beothuks. And I think they thought it was fun to hunt them like wild geese.
One of the most tragic incidents is recreated in this painting. A party of settlers, out to recapture stolen nets and sails, had been given permission to take a captive in an attempt to establish contact with the still surviving Beothuks. It resulted in the capture of Mary March, but it also led to the killing of her husband, the last chief of the dying tribe. Today, the Beothuks live in a legend with which many Newfoundlanders still have to come to terms. Were they savage headhunters, innocent victims, or a people who got set in a scrounging way of life that played them false in the end? We will never know for sure, but their culture has become part of ours. Some say it should be accepted as a gift, not as a curse. For CBC News, I'm Atso Razori.
Looking outside right now, we're going to see the potential for some flurries across the province tonight. Tomorrow, things look pretty nice. I'll have all the details on what the rest of the week is looking like when I come back.
Snow's taking a beating.
It is.
Compared to what it was.
Absolutely.
I'm Debbie. 14 years ago, I had a brain aneurysm, and within a week, I had a stroke.
We're checking back in with people who have overcome some major life challenges.
At the age of 36, I had to get better.
This is My Story, a new series with segments every 2 weeks on Here and Now.
This is my story.
Debbie Maloney, coming up on January 30th.
This weather update is brought to you by Beltone, helping the world hear better.
I'm going to get to the weather in just a moment, but first we're starting something pretty cool tonight.
It's our very first Weather Whiz Kids Club, and we just want to welcome for the first time Sarah Norman. She's our official first member there. You're actually going to get one of these postcards in the mail once they get here. But that is her photo that she sent in. Cumulonimbus by the Bay. She's 12 years old from St. John's. And fun fact, she wants to be a meteorologist when she's older.
Oh,
smart.
Nice. What a great picture.
A beautiful picture there, yeah.
Yep. Can you say that word for me again?
Cumulonimbus.
Oh, nice.
Oh, look, there she is.
So this is Sarah there. Yeah.
So she wants your job, and I guess looking at the age difference, by the time you retire, she'll probably be ready.
That's true.
So there you go.
There you go. Maybe she will.
Beautiful drawing, too.
Yeah, she did a great job. And we want to see your photos as well. So make sure you send in your picture as well as where you live and how old you are. And then we'll try and get you up on the show.
And you can be a Weather Whiz kid, too.
Absolutely, just like Sarah. Well, we're going to fast forward now to what's going to happen through Thursday, because that's when the next system rolls in, and this one looks like it's taken a pretty similar track to what we just saw on Monday. So if we take a look at the future tracker, we'll see that snow move in overnight into Thursday morning. Now this one, it does look like we will see some snow further east, so towards the Avalon overnight. And then into the morning hours, or at least overnight for the south coast, we're going to see things change over quite quickly to rain. And again, this is another thing where we're going to see some heavy rain for both the south and west coast through the day on Thursday. And with these, some pretty mild temperatures as well into the afternoon. So taking a look at that forecast for Thursday, out ahead of that, those temperatures are going to start to climb. So 3 degrees is the story for Corner Brook on Thursday. Everything will change over to rain and then stay quite windy as well through the day. It'll take its time reaching the Avalon, but temperatures hovering around the 1 degree mark. So flurries to start, change over to rain towards the early morning hours on Friday. And then up through Labrador, we're going to get into that those warmer temperatures yet again. So -4 for Happy Valley, Goose Bay, Cartwright, same thing, 0 around the Straits. And then Lab City actually going to see a quite warm temperature as well, near -10 through the day on Thursday. Now looking ahead, as I mentioned, the mild temperatures expected in southerly flow. As that warm front continues to push north, that's where we're going to see some of those milder temperatures. And in behind that, that cold front moves in. Takes its time though, so it's going to stay pretty warm on Friday as well. And then once we start to see that cold front move through, everything will change back over to snow for Saturday. And it looks like it's not a bad day on Saturday. Along the west coast and Labrador is where you're going to see most of that snow. Otherwise, a mix of sun and cloud. And the weekend actually stays quite calm for the most part, other than some lingering flurry activity expected along the west and potentially south coast for Sunday. So it doesn't look all that bad. So here's a look at your 5-day forecast tomorrow. We'll see that potential for flurries in the morning for St. John's and eastern Newfoundland. Eventually some clearing, temperatures staying below 0 at -3. Now we're going to see that climb of temperatures on Thursday. Friday is when that big push of warm air moves in. So 9 degrees, rain and windy conditions expected, and then drop down on Saturday. Potential for a few flurries maybe on Sunday, and -2. Now through central Newfoundland, we're looking at a similar setup. So temperatures climbing by Friday, but then a return of that sunshine for both Saturday and Sunday, and then generally gray for western Newfoundland. It looks like flurries return both Saturday and Sunday, and then we dip back down with those temperatures back to near seasonal. Now up through eastern Labrador, there's that warm up I was mentioning. So -16 tomorrow, some sun to start, then some increase in cloud, and then through the day on Thursday and Friday, we'll see that snow and then return of that sunshine, and of course with that, those cooler temperatures. And then same thing for western Labrador, back to well above seasonal for both Thursday and Friday. Saturday, that sunshine and seasonal temperatures return. So just before we go to break, I have one more thing for you. I want to show you your weather photo. This one is a beautiful shot there, family skating. Any idea where that is?
I don't know. I'm kind of taken by the photo. Wow, what a shot.
It is. That's exactly where I would want to be right now.
Sun reflecting off the ice. Lovely.
Well, it is on the Avalon, but I'll tell you who took that photo and exactly what pond this is when we come back.
Welcome back to Here and Now. Something interesting for you to see just before we wind the show down. It turns out that when you put a drone and a dog sled together, well, the results are pretty spectacular. Check this out. So that's musher Sid Robinson somewhere down there and his 12 dogs, and they're training for the Canadian Challenge Sled Dog Race.
Wow, that race follows a route similar to the one used by trappers, police, and First Nations between Prince Albert and La Ronge in Saskatchewan.
Yep, the route is about 600 kilometers long, and that race kicks off next month.
What an incredible shot.
Look at the sun on the, yes, the reflection on the trees. Oh boy, that's gorgeous.
Got to get me a drone. Look
Some
at
of
that.
the drone footage is incredible.
That's fantastic.
Definitely.
Wow.
Well, another beautiful photo,
Yes.
a little bit closer to home. That's that shot there, enjoying a little family skate on a pond on the Avalon called
Avalon.
Golden Gullies
Oh,
Pond.
so right off the highway.
Yeah, right off the
we've
highway.
Probably driven past that.
More than likely. I
Yeah.
probably did this weekend. Yeah, Perry Fitzgerald sent us that beautiful shot there.
She's skating in the summer, and you can see the dock there on the left of the photo
Oh,
where
yeah, there you go.
you either dive off or tie up your boat
There
in
you
the summer.
go. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, if you have any weather photos just like that, send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Yeah, and don't forget the Weather Whiz kids are there.
Absolutely, please.
Yeah, I know you're the president of the club. It
I
said
am.
at the bottom.
I am. First president ever.
Nice, and our first member tonight, and
Yeah.
everyone gets one of those postcards.
They do, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corrupt meteorologist. CBC investigates tomorrow on Here and Now. It's a great card. You want one, so get your kids to send us a drawing, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Have a great night, everyone.
Good night.
I don't remember voting.